In one word, just one word, what is your professional style?
Open.
I'm here with Matt Mullenweg, who is the founder of Automatic, or the founder of WordPress. How does that work?
Both.
Okay, and Automatic is sort of the parent company of WordPress?
Parent company of WordPress.com, Akismet, Vaultpress, Jetpack.
Okay, and so for people who don't know, and there are probably not that many of them out there on the internet, what WordPress is, explain it to me in like 2 seconds.
Sure. So WordPress is an easy way to create a beautiful blog or website.
And you started this when you were an undergraduate at the University of Houston.
That is correct.
And so you were coding away in your dorm room?
No, I had an apartment. It's very inexpensive in Houston. But yeah, I was studying political science, but really most of my time was spent on working online. I loved making websites, loved working with musicians in town, and I ended up dropping out.
And so, like a lot of other famous entrepreneurs, Bill Gates, you're in good shape, you were programming it, but it's an open source project. Can you explain that to people who might not understand how open source works? Sure.
So WordPress is kind of like the Wikipedia in that it's part of the reason it's fantastic is it has hundreds of contributors from all over the world. The release that's coming out, the 3.5 release, has over 260 individuals that contributed to it. So that sort of leverage.
Contributed, you mean programmed?
Yeah, actually contributing code.
Right.
Many more that contribute. We have over 20,000 plugins, thousands of themes. So the ecosystem around WordPress gives it a lot of power and flexibility.
When did you realize that this was more than just like a project that you were doing on the side, and realize that this was going to be a company and potentially your life's work?
It was very much, because the growth was very slow in the beginning. I was really just making it for myself. And the fact that other people used it was kind of a happy coincidence. The first time it seemed bigger to me was the first translation. So a fellow in Japan had opened every single file, hundreds of files, and gone through tens of thousands of lines of code and translated every English string to Japanese. And this must have taken him hundreds of hours. So it blew me away. And then also seeing the software that I had worked on in this foreign language, like, blew my mind. It was beautiful. Yeah. Japanese script is so beautiful. That's when I thought about it as something that maybe just more than software for my blog.
Right.
And that's around the same time we adopted our mission of democratizing publishing for the world.
And you really have. I mean, give us some idea of the scale of WordPress use right now.
Sure. So WordPress is now used by about 17% of websites.
17,
including Forbes.com.
Correct.
Lots of major media, all the way down to blogs like mine. I mean, ma.tt. And that's the beauty of the software is it's easy enough for anyone to use, and tens of thousands of people start using it every day, but powerful enough that it can work for New York Times or Wall Street Journal or Forbes.
That's right. We do use it here, and it's remarkable how easy it is. I remember way back in the day when you were literally to publish something online, you had to learn HTML essentially, and I thought that was so hard, but it certainly it was a barrier to entry.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We want to make it, again, democratize publishing, make it easy for anyone to have, and not just a website, a beautiful website. We want you to look good online.
I think we do, and thank you for that. And so, give me an idea of the scale of the company now. You're in San Francisco now, or based, or?
Sure. So our headquarters, Automatic's headquarters in San Francisco. We're about 150 people.
Wow.
And the interesting thing about it is we're totally distributed. So that's across, I want to say, about 110 cities, and everyone works from home on their own schedules. Kind of like an open source project, actually.
Yeah. And is that hard to manage? I mean, what is your title there? You have a CEO that you brought in, right?
So Tony Schneider. I actually joined about 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So we've been working together for a long time now. I run all the product stuff. So that's sort of my passion. I go to bed every night and wake up every morning thinking about WordPress. Organizationally, I would say it's actually probably easier than if we had an office. Partly because I'm on the road so much that if we weren't distributed, I don't think I could do what I do with the product. We all communicate. There's almost no email. We communicate using blogs, using WordPress.
Right.
And it's 24 hours a day.
So how do you, it's an open source project, how do you make money? Because you give it away, right? It's free.
So the software is free, and you can sign up to WordPress.com for free. But we have sort of power features. So for $99 a year, you can get a pro bundle. It gets you your own domain. So you can be like yourname.com as opposed to yourname.wordpress.com. Right. Video functionality, ability to tweak the fonts and the design a bit.
Right.
So those sorts of add-ons, even though a very small percentage of the total user base uses them, that number adds up.
Well, a small percentage of 70% of the web is a big number. I think we only really have time for one more question here. So if you were to give any advice to somebody who's sitting in a dorm room right now, hacking away at some personal project, some passion project, what would it be? What have you learned that you pass on to that person?
I would say the thing that sort of enabled us to grow the most and also enables our distributed model to work is the people. And so, hiring and finding the best people in the world, and then most importantly, and this is the part that I screwed up for many years, is giving them the autonomy and the responsibility to actually execute.
Yeah, if you let people empower them to do it, they do tend to do it.
And I found no connection between educational background or experience or anything. People rise to the occasion, but you have to give them the ability to.